Nate, you're my dog. I appreciate that. Love that intro there, my friend. As we delve into it, the Colts obviously dealt a big blow with the surprise retirement of Andrew Luck before the season. But as head coach Frank Reich said right here on this very show yesterday, no one flinched because of the character of the guys in the locker room. Indy off to a 2-1 start for the first time since 2013. They had another scare in the win over the Falcons when T.Y. Hilton aggravated a quad injury. Hilton saying Tuesday the injury is doing better, and he's hopeful he'll be able to play against the Raiders. Hilton already clicking with Jacoby Brissett, hooking up for 4 touchdowns through 3 weeks. In fact, they already have a nickname for each other as well.
We call ourselves the Beanbag Boys, so it's just fun, just be able to communicate with him. We talk daily, we text daily, so it's cool just to be out there and seeing the stuff that he's doing. He's becoming confident, man, and he's a big believer in himself. Believing in the play call, and he's doing a great job throughout the week, just studying film and knowing what guys are going to be, and he's going out there and execute.
Beanbag Boys, I like it. Browns tight end David Njoku sidelined with a broken wrist, but according to Cleveland.com, Njoku elected to not have surgery. He's on injured reserve and is out a minimum of 8 weeks, but not having surgery increases his chance of returning this season. Speaking of tight ends, Washington's Vernon Davis, friend of the show, we have to call him out after this move on Monday night as he tried to hurdle Bears corner Prince Amukamara, but Prince wasn't having it. Vernon clearly expecting Prince to go low, but that has to be considered a hurdle fail. As a matter of fact, Prince Amukamara had tweeted something out saying, caption this with the video. And Vern, I think I speak for all of us here on GMFB when I say we'd like to see you go for the angry run and try to bowl people over. Use that stiff arm and just go right through people. But jumping up, didn't work out so well. Okay.
I like that would only happen to Prince Amukamara. Love him on the show. Love them both. Good friends of GMFB. Will, appreciate you. Let's talk fantasy football here for a moment. You're looking to set your lineups in week 4. Maybe you're 0 for 3. Maybe you're undefeated. You might need some help, though, and I thought it'd be a perfect time for a round of fantasy face-off at the wideout position. So I want to take a look at the top 10 over at NFL.com. The Brilliant Mind Trust over there created their list and their rankings, and they have Cooper Kupp at 10. Which is, I think, really low. Because if you're looking at the last 2 weeks, and you are right now, he is a top 5 wide receiver. He's got the Bucs. The Bucs defense got picked apart by Daniel Jones last week. Listen, we've seen Goff get off to a bit of a slow start statistically to start the season. I think they're at home against the Buccaneers, and he needs to be higher on this list. So again, NFL.com's Week 4 wide receiver rankings. Come over here. Just take a look at these. Come on back. Hi.
Get in there, Steady Eddie. Go on.
This is what I want you to see. He's at the bottom. Is he a wide receiver 1? Yes. Are the rest of these guys? Sure. But let's see how high Cooper Kupp can go. He's got a nice defense. He's been a top wide receiver in the top 5 the last 2 weeks. Him up against Sammy Watkins. I know he had a monster week 1. I know he's in a high-scoring offense. Consistency bothers me. Less than 50 yards last week. Just above 60 the week before, because he throws it to Demarcus Robinson, because he gets it to Travis Kelce and does all sorts of things. Reed and Mahomes sort of mix it up. The consistency would bother me. Up against Detroit, too, where I think he's going to see a lot of Darius Slay, as Nate will tell you. All right, so let's put him above Sammy Watkins. Up against Mike Evans. Love Mike Evans. Slow start to this season, sort of the opposite of Sammy Watkins, right? Last week, he had a breakout 3-touchdown game. I love that, but I will say the Rams super tough on wide receiver 1s. They were tough against good competition, against guys like Odell. So I just feel like Mike Evans in this game, this will be more of a Chris Godwin sort of situation. They're the second toughest and stingiest against the wide receiver position. So, yeah, I'd play Kupp above him. I think he'll ball out yet again. Up against Michael Thomas. This is tough, but I'll say, yeah, the quarterback. The offense with Bridgewater sort of runs through Kamara, right? I'm a little less intrigued and attracted to the targets and the volume that Michael Thomas isn't getting. He did score last week, I'll give you that, but he still only had 5 catches for just over 50 yards, and his longest catch was only 18 yards. That was his biggest gain. So I feel like volume, even against Dallas, which might be a high-scoring game, I think I would play Cooper Kupp over Michael Thomas. What say you, Brain Trust?
Listen, I'm so ashamed of Michael Thomas and what happened to him. I thought he was going to have 150 catches, Kay, but at this point, 100% you play Cooper over him. Bridgewater's not going to light it up with Thomas, I don't think.
I think you have to. I think it's a little bit less explosive. So when it comes to Cooper Kupp up against Odell Beckham Jr., we know what Odell Beckham Jr. can do. He's like the most explosive wide receiver when he's at a 10. But I will say, up against the Ravens. Now, the Ravens have gotten got in the slot, but Marlon Humphrey is no joke. They erased #1 wide receivers. His passer rating against Marlon Humphrey is 14. I thought that was a typo, you guys. 14. You cannot throw against him. So I feel like this is going to be more of a Jarvis Landry game. And Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry actually each had 9 targets in week 3. So it seems to be evening out a little bit because of Marlon Humphrey, because this is a game on the road and I don't fully trust Kitchens. I'm going to give McVay and Cooper Kupp the nod over Odell.
Okay, can we get a T-shirt that says "Don't get God in the slot"?
Don't get God in the slot, baby.
Get on it, one seed. Get on that.
Do I have the cojones, Kyle, to play Kupp over Cooper?
I think you do.
You think so?
I do.
Cooper over Cooper.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'd still play. Amari had 2 touchdowns. This entire offense sort of runs through him. No Michael Gallup. Him and Dak clearly have chemistry. He's playing for a contract up against New Orleans. New Orleans has allowed a 100-yard receiver every week this season.
Oh, man.
I'm going to have to give Amari Cooper, who has scored a touchdown every week, the nod over a Cooper Kupp. So this is about where he starts, where he stops. But if you have Cooper Kupp, obviously play him in a daily situation. Definitely, you know, Tampa Bay is good against the run, guys, but against the pass, they're going to get lit up. And the pants. I don't know.
Pants. They're beautiful, yellow pants. Look at that.
Fans have great pants.
All right, that's your fantasy face-off. He is the starter in Carolina for the foreseeable future. What do you really know about Kyle Allen? I don't know much, but Triggs is going to fill us in a little Meet That Man after this. And who won Player of the Week? We'll reveal all the winners. Defense, offense, special teams. Next.